recent study showcased that 47% of the adults regret the career choice they have made when they were younger, and 70% are nervous to explore new areas and locations to learn and work in. The most common and infamous question everyone has is how to have work-life balance. Does one have to wait for the weekend to have fun? Can't work be enjoyable? Here is Ibeam Academy's Make It Work For You sessions that make work and fun synonymous for all.
Many of the young people give up on their hobbies, they don't really pursue what they are passionate about and don't bring those flavors into their work. Many others also felt that during their span of education, they've been forced to focus on results and hence resorted to shortcuts in order to achieve their goals. I thought it was very, very important to understand why we are doing what we are doing and work with joy. Else, rest assured, the productivity is going to take a hit. Thus was born Make It Work For You for employees of all age groups, just to make them enjoy their work.
Ibeam is a life skill training institute founded by Jayashree Ganeshan. Jayashree Ganeshan is a solution analyst with 3 decades of experience. She excels in identifying the root cause for the key concerns across organizations. She has been a senior consultant and master trainer for projects with organizations with the American India Foundation, IBM, Wipro, Microsoft and BryoBliss. It has been 6 years since Ibeam Academy was founded, and she has helped transform 8,000 lives so far, with more adding on each day. The workshops designed at Ibeam are tailor-made to resolve issues faced by clients.
So the founder and the CEO of a chartered accountant company once came up to me and he was sharing the challenges that he faced with his young employees. He said it was impossible for them to connect with the clients. They only communicated the statutory rules that the clients had to follow, never went a step beyond that to create a kind of a rapport or a relationship. He said this had an adverse impact on the company because the clients never realized the value that they were actually adding. Once I understood the challenge, it was very easy to come up with the needs.
What makes this program unique and inspires organizations to enroll is its use of mind maps for learning, relevant locations, and fun games. A lot of thought goes into the selection of locations. Nature, monuments, streets, and historical places are immense repositories of learning, says Jayashree Ganeshan.
So we chose the Domlur Surya Narayana Swami temple. They actually came in for the session early morning at around 6:30, which in itself was a game changer for them. They got to do the Surya Namaskar outside the temple. So this series of sounds and physical exercises that they got to do woke them up. The next thing they did was focused on the Gopuram of the temple on 2 muses that was chosen. One was the sun and the other was the moon. We kindled in them a thought process of how important it is to be brilliant in the work that you do, but also compassionate enough to connect with the needs of the client. After having had this dialogue, many young people were awed by the jobs that they themselves were doing. So they even said, oh, is this what a chartered accountant actually is? Is this what we are meant to do? We took them under a banyan tree. And there were a lot of questions asked to help them dwell upon the various characteristics of a banyan tree. Using that as a nudge, I brought in a graphic organizer asking them to compare the requirements of a client a few years back versus the requirement of a client today. This opened many vistas to them. So the banyan tree was actually a muse to help them understand change management.
She chooses these places in order to nudge people out of their comfort zones. This helps them see their environment as a space that encourages learning. Specific life skills and self-improvement techniques are built in for impact. Experiential games, activities, and performances that are immersive and thought provoking encourage learning and an inner transformation.
So we then moved into the streets and began to play Lagori. And the minute they were asked to play a game which was from their childhood, it didn't really require too much of an effort from our sides. They were quick to form teams, they understood the weakness and the strength of each member, and they chose members just with that objective of winning the game. This further led to a dialogue on how they need to tap into each other's strengths and weaknesses in order to grow into a very strong team. This built interpersonal skills and also helped them realize the importance of dwelling upon your own weaknesses and strength and working together in order to make a service or a product succeed. A few months down the line, the director actually reported the massive changes that he saw in people. He said it was so much easier now for them to go around and interact with people, and was extremely happy with the transition that happened.
With the Make It Work For You program, participants tend to value the process for better results. Find opportunities to apply theoretical learning to real-life situations. They also learn to collaborate with people and spaces around them, thus making work and fun synonymous.